roll an Animist? Well, here's what you need to know. Animists commune with apparitions, spirits powerful enough to provide magic and alter a 10th rank spell, yet somehow still too weak to interact with the physical world. Unlike the more monogamous members of the Imaginary Friends Club, Animists have a rotating roster of apparitions they can swap out each day, which can lead to some awkward conversations.
You're down to secondary. Ugh, don't be a baby. And call Esmeralda and knock her down to 3.
You attune to 2 apparitions a day, up to 4 as you level up. Technically, one of them has to be your primary, but this only affects 2 features, one of which will never come up outside of a level 20 one-shot. Whichever apparitions you pick will determine how you interact with this class's gimmick. See, half your spell slots are prepared and come from you, while the other half are spontaneous and come from your apparitions. I'm assuming your initial reaction to this information is something along the lines of but these complexities do come with their perks. Not only are all your apparition spells signature spells, but being able to freely change your known spells each day gives you unparalleled versatility as a spellcaster. Except it doesn't when you really think about it. I mean, each apparition comes with a preset list of spells. Every Animist has half their spells basically picked for them before you even touch the character sheet. Okay, realistically, there are enough apparitions that you're bound to find some combination of spells to meet your needs, even if you have to add them in yourself. Plus, you can still pick whatever you want with your prepared spell slots, so you still have plenty of flexibility. I'm just saying, at some point, it just makes more sense to play a fully prepared spellcaster. Another factor to consider when picking your apparitions for the day, specifically which one to pick as your primary, is whether or not you can make use of its focus spell. Each apparition follows a particular theme, with an accompanying vessel spell to help facilitate a specific thematic fantasy and/or party role. These are the kinds of focus spells that can define your entire playstyle, if not your whole build. For example, you'll need a high intelligence if you want to make use of this spell. Also, don't do that because this spell sucks. First of all, these free proficiencies are useless. You have to be trained in crafting anyway for the feats you need to make most of the consumables this spell was apparently designed for. Do you know how many consumables are neither alchemical nor magical?
Not fucking many!
Second of all, am I supposed to sleep cuddling whatever I craft like emotionally unstable women with their Sanrio collections? Because anything I make won't be done until the end of whatever day I finish it on, and I can't exactly leave it on the nightstand. Best case scenario, it's good if the rogue calls out sick one day and you need to disarm a trap in a pinch. Next, we have an AoE heal with a hard cooldown conveniently the same time it takes to recharge a focus point. Need I say more? There is exactly one feat that makes sense with this spell, and it's level 12. It's a pretty nice combo though, so consider it once you reach that level. Basically a focus spell version of the feat I just mentioned that trades certainty for added damage if it pays off. Pitiful range, but works well with a bit of mobility. Max strength or don't bother with this one unless you need to breathe underwater for no more than a minute. The incapacitation trait is the only thing keeping me from insta-locking this apparition like 5 of your teammates insta-locking duelists in Marvel Rivals. Pray that the enemy doesn't have an AoE spell. No. Fucking no. This is the druid's thing. They even gave them the adding forms with class feat shtick. It is a bit weaker though, so I guess I can let it slide, but yeah, another for the pile. Damage. Better than when they tried this with the Oracle, but then again, most things are. Now that you have at least some idea about which apparitions to pick and when to pick them, let's look at your actual subclass. Your practice gives you a feat at level 1 and a handful of unique features as you level up. It's probably the least convoluted part of this class. Liturgists can swap their primary apparition, i.e. their vessel spell, once per round. The mobility at higher levels can make those vessel spells with small emanations. Hang on, go back a second. Does this give you an extra focus point at level 1? Alright, pack it up, we're done here. No need to see more. Fine, I'll do the rest. Mediums give you the ability to let one of your apparitions inside you to take control, restricting your actions and moving your body around as it sees fit. Jesus, I hope you have a safe word. Pick this one if you're planning on doing a strength build to get the most out of letting yourself be possessed. Are you in an undead heavy campaign? Did someone else already pick a cleric? Well, here's the seer trying to make the most of it. There's a certain type of player that knows whether risking the loss of a quarter of your known spells is worth getting a ghost cat. For you, there's the subclass named after what the entire class should have been called. Before I wrap things up, there are a couple sets of miscellaneous class feats I want to mention, but couldn't find a better spot for. First, there's the stance that, especially when combined with these direct improvements, buffs everything you could possibly want to do. So if there isn't anything else you want to use your class feats on, here you go. And last but not least, I gotta tell you about the wandering trait. Basically, you have all of these feats the second you hit their respective levels. Depending on the lore skills your attuned apparitions give, which is the only way you'll remember they even give you lore skills, you retrain into whichever of these feats you qualify for at each corresponding level until you do it again the next day. I'd like to say this is the coolest part about this class, which is why I am. I may be a bit critical of the Animist, but I believe this class succeeds on two very important fronts. First, complications aside, the swapping of abilities and playstyles based on your attuned apparition fits the theme of the class phenomenally well. I could not ask for more from a class all about borrowing the powers of diverse spirits with different backgrounds. Actually I could, but I doubt Paizo was quite as fanatic about Shaman King as I am. Second, the Animist succeeds in carving out its own niche that's always useful in any given party. The Substitute. Sadly, the realities of life can make it hard for entire groups to regularly meet. Maybe your rogue has to work late, or your cleric's babysitter canceled, or your fighter was willed a haunted mansion by a deceased relative on the condition that he stays there for 24 hours. The Animist might not be as good as your other party members at whatever role they need to fill, but it's still better than having no one who can cover at all. And they can do this for just about anyone in the party if need be. They're like that one coworker who always covers when someone misses a shift. If that level of reliability speaks to you, then the Animist might be worth a try. Also, I'm going to a concert Friday. Can you cover my closing shift?